Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. Things are perking along here. Worked hard yesterday. For me. Let's face it. You know. But I got all my knitting books and the jewelry books that I kept on my bookshelf. It turns out that tall bookshelf contain, and I the very bottom shelf I put jewelry making components, and then I have books on all the other shelves. And it turns out that those books, none of those books were actually in my craft room. They were in the room I'm in now, piled on two giant piles on the table and on the back of the desk. So I didn't really gain any craft space for craft room things on that shelf. But I have my knitting books now displayed nicely on a shelf that I can access, and so that's good. I didn't do much separating, but organizing of the books. But I do have one shelf that is technique books and fleece related books. The rest are all pattern books. And the jewelry books are a mishmash. Some of them are instructional books, some of them are beautiful pictures, so we'll see. But Dennis moved some stuff around in the sitting room, so I can now access most of what I need to access. And so today we'll be getting down to a little bit the nitty-gritty of what do I do with this and where do I put this. I'm going to ask him to rehang the hooks. I took down a set of 4 hooks that were on the wall, and they were on the wall where the blue bookcase is, but I'm going to ask him to put them back up on the opposite wall. And I think I'm going to hang my project bags on that, because my project bags need a place to live. They were kind of on top of my dresser in the other room, but the top of the dresser is now magazines. And that should work out okay, because I have stopped all the subscriptions to my knitting magazines. I don't get any more knitting magazines. So that is a static number of magazines. It's not growing. So that should work out okay. I'm trying to get in touch with my friend Simona. I have a fleece that I bought a few years ago that I really haven't been able to process, and so answer me on Instagram, Simona, because I want to send it to someone. So I offered it to Simona if she would like it. She does that. She takes fleeces and turns them into sweaters. I have several friends that do that, so I am confident I can get rid of that fleece. And that will be nice, because I'm not going to process that fleece. Let's face it. So, yeah, so I have plans, and so I'll ask Dennis to put that those hooks up, and then I can proceed. And Kim came over yesterday. She's going to take Tiger to the vet on Thursday to get him chipped, because who knows what'll happen. We want him chipped, and he wasn't before. And then Tiger's coming Thursday. She's going to come with him, bring him over here, and we're going to see what we can do. We'll bring the last TV over, we'll set up the sitting room, and then they'll all be moved in, and then it'll just be us getting things out of her old house that she wants with her. One thing that we haven't done yet, and we're going to do, is there's no pictures on the wall. There aren't any pictures on the wall in her bedroom, and there aren't any pictures on the wall in the sitting room. There's some holes in the walls Dennis is going to have to fill in. But so we want to bring Aura's art to our house, where she lives, to her house, to her rooms, and then whatever else she wants to bring for her comfort and enjoyment. So that's the plan. The World Series is on. I am not a baseball fan. I didn't even know the Phillies won their division or whatever the heck it was to be in the World Series. I knew they were playing against the Padres because when we were in the Outer Banks, sister-in-law Vicky and her husband live in San Diego area, so, but they grew up in the Philadelphia area. So they thought they were a little bit in a no-lose situation because, you know, anyway, I didn't even know the Phillies had won, but the Phillies are in the World Series for the first time since, I don't know, 2008 or something. Everyone's apparently very excited. Neither Dennis nor I care. But Aura does, to some degree, and she's been a baseball fan for 80 years. So she and I watched the Phillies game up until inning 8, and then she decided she'd finish it in her room. So I'm assuming the Phillies won because when we last left our heroes, they were winning 7-0. So I'm thinking they won, but I actually don't know. But while I was watching the baseball that I didn't care about, I knitted. So I added 10-12 rows to my twists and turns, and so that felt good. If I'm going to be knitting regularly, I'm going to need another project that I don't have to look at the directions quite so much. So, I mean, I suppose eventually this twists and turns is going to go on me because I have this set of however many it is, 10 or 12 rows that you have to do. Oh, excuse me. 12 times. You do this set of rows 12 times. Maybe when I get, you know, I've only done 2. So I have 10 more sets to do. I'm picturing this, you know, I'll be done with clue 1 by the end of November. Happy November, everybody. So, oh, it's November 2nd. I think it's my friend Linda's birthday. I'll have to text her. Anyway, I feel like I need a project. I'm not gonna knit a boxy. I'm not gonna knit a boxy, but I am thinking about that, the Scream, the Shrike, beautiful yarn that I bought from Benta of Arctic Crafts. And I would love to have a sweater in that. So I'm thinking about casting that on. I was thinking I would do a Not Too Much again by Hinterns. I think it's Hinterns-Sturm, but I'm not sure. I have knit that twice, and I really like both sweaters, although I made a mistake the first time I made it in that I used sort of soft sock yarn held double because it's a DK weight sweater. Sock yarn held double in bright fancy colors from Chili Knits across the top of the bodice, and then I faded a couple of bright fancy colors and then faded it into a very dark gray and did the whole rest of the sweater in the dark gray. And the dark gray is a sturdier yarn that I got from Craftsy. They used to sell yarn. I don't know if they still do, but I got that yarn from them, and so it's a real sturdy. It's it's comfortable on the skin, but it's not soft. But the sock yarn, the top of the sweater is not as robust as the rest of the sweater, and it feels like the rest of the sweater is dragging it down because it's a long sweater. So I think that's a mistake, and you need to put your more robust yarn up, you know, where all the weight is going to be on it. So lesson learned there. I still wear it. It's comfortable, but I just realized that's not. I probably should have put the gray at the top and put the wild colors around the bottom. Now I know. But I'm not going to use more than one yarn, I don't think, unless I need to pull a Leslie to make this sweater long enough. I think I have enough yarn, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Anyway, I'm thinking about that, and it makes me smile that I'm thinking about that. I am enjoying working in my room. I opened my door this morning, and this room faces east, and so it's a bright sunny day today, and I opened the door, and it's just a bright, gorgeous room with the sun shining in, and so that's gonna be nice. Although that means, you know, afternoon, the sun won't be in. My other room is sort of facing west, northwest, so this is east, southeast. But there are a lot of trees and stuff, so it was never really a sunny room or a bright room ever, so this is a little bit of a change, and made me smile this morning when I opened to see my bookshelf and see my progress. I am making progress, and I am going to make a lot more progress today, because Tiger's coming tomorrow night, and then everybody's moved in. So, but things are going well, and yeah, I'm trying to not be too stressed, trying to, you know, be chill. By the end of the day yesterday, I was kind of crabby and I felt bad, but I'm working on it. So there you go. That's the update. I will take you on a tour tomorrow and show you where I am so far. Oh, I just rubbed my eyes and now it looks like I've been crying. I have not. Don't worry. I have not been crying. I'm going to go. Please, please, please take good care of yourselves, and thank you for all your good wishes. And I am passing on your regards to Aura, those of you who have sent her regards. So please, please stay safe and stay sane.